Coming up on the NABJ FAMU TV 20 News, there's a new state budget proposal in Florida. Will more jobs be cut, or will you have to pay more taxes?
Also, more Floridians can identify with this single mother struggling to feed her children. New facts about the increasing demand of food stamps. And a national network is helping a local family fulfill an American dream. All this and more coming up. Your news starts right now.
From the campus of Florida A&M University, this is a special broadcast. FAMU News 20 at 5 and the National Association of Black Journalists present the NABJ Spring 2009 Journalism Short Course Report.
Hello everyone, I'm Brent Hatchett.
And I'm Sandra Weathers. Welcome to the 2009 edition of the NABJ Broadcast Short Course on the campus of Florida A&M University right here in Tallahassee, Florida. Thanks for tuning in. And the nation continues to struggle with a multitude of economic woes. With Florida's leaders, they now have a game plan on how to get through these tough economic times. Governor Charlie Crist hopes to stimulate the economy and the Sunshine State through his $66.5 billion budget proposal. The plan includes no tax increases and calls for no layoffs for state employees. The governor also wants to invest $31.2 billion in the public school system, which is about $2 billion less than last year. The budget goes before the State House and the Senate for discussion on March 3rd.
The worsening economy is putting a strain on the people who work at food stamp offices, as well as those who need the help. A backlog of requests and a shortage of workers could determine whether some people are able to eat. I talked to a Tallahassee family about how they're pinching pennies to try to keep food on the table. Steamed cabbage on top of a bed of rice is a meal 18-year-old Rakia Good wouldn't be able to cook if her mother, Donna, didn't receive food stamps.
I mean, living off food stamps is what we do. I mean, without this money that the government give us, you could say that we would be out of food. I mean, we'll go hungry every day.
Donna was at the Department of Children and Families reapplying for food stamps. She has two other children besides Rakia, and Rakia has a baby herself.
Without stamps, it's a struggle, and the reason it's a struggle is because of the food is so high.
Due to a slow economy, more people in Florida are applying for food stamps. The state agency that administers the program needs to hire 300 people to handle the huge increase. It's going to cost the state an additional $6.5 million on top of the $5 million in funds already approved by the state legislature. Not only does the government determine how much money a person can receive in food stamps a month so that they can continue to fill up the refrigerator and stock the cupboards, but the government also determines how much money a person can make a month so that they can continue to receive food stamps, and some say that's just not fair. Donna's friend, Alicia Williams, went with her to reapply for food stamps. She's afraid of losing government help because she makes too much money.
My income limit is $3,077. If I go over that income amount, that's it.
It typically takes 30 days for the state to approve someone for food stamps. For Donna, her 3 children and grandson, a prayer and every food stamp counts when it comes to keeping the pantry stocked. The food stamp issue will come up again when the legislature reconvenes the 1st of March. After weeks of debate, the fate of Bellevue Middle School is still up in the air. The Leon County School Board says it's facing a $12 million budget cut, and if the county doesn't receive any additional funding, Bellevue could be shut down. Superintendent Jackie Pound says the district will save $2 million by shutting down the school. However, no closure date or deadline has been given. The issue will be brought back up at Tuesday night's school board meeting.
And tough economic times are forcing some people to make tough decisions about the fate of their loved ones. The burden of feeding and caring for their pets is just too much to handle. This means more people are making hard choices about whether they can get proper medical care for their pets. The Animal Aid Center has already seen a decline in the number of customers seeking services.
We've seen not only a decline, but also the clients that do come in are on a much more limited budget in providing care for their animals, and we're getting many more requests for financial aid. If people cannot keep their pets, we do try to find homes for as many as possible. We are a no-kill facility, so unfortunately we can't take near the number of requests that we receive.
South Georgia residents are cleaning up after Thursday's tornadoes, but what nature ruined, a community is building back together. Here's more from Thomasville.
This is the sound of a community coming together. And after Thursday's tornado, this is just what they needed.
There is such camaraderie and such helping each other, and it's just been beautiful. So we've learned a lesson. What's important is taking care of one another, loving your neighbors. And
everyone from construction crews to volunteers spent the day patching up roofs and fixing power lines. And with damage this extensive, even the volunteers with the Red Cross say, though things are broken, it has brought people closer together.
So we have people showing up at our office or calling our office saying, what can we do? We also have people that are just showing up on the street and saying, hey, can I help you clean your house or get the debris out of your living room?
Now with the storm as big as this one and crews working tirelessly around the clock, it seems to be the smaller things making the biggest difference.
And when people's in need of help, I'd like to help them out.
And Darlene Lamb knows all about surviving a storm. She and her family made it through Tropical Storm Faye last year, and on this day, she's lending a hand.
I just hope they can pass it along the line later on down the road to help somebody else that's in need.
And it's these little acts of kindness that is helping to restore this community.
The Red Cross will be back out again tomorrow to help with rebuilding efforts. If you would like to volunteer, contact the Red Cross's Thomasville chapter at 229-226-2181.
The man convicted of ordering the hit on confidential informant Constance DuPont gets a second life sentence. It took a Gaston County jury 1 hour to sentence Hernandez Daniels. He was convicted earlier this week on first-degree murder charges. The man who investigators say actually committed the murder, Fernando Taylor, will go on trial this week. Investigators say DuPont was working with the Leon County Sheriff's Office in 2002 on a drug investigation targeted at Daniels. Daniels is already serving another life sentence on federal drug charges. Well, on a lighter note, history was made this week on the campus of Florida A&M, but there were a few students there to see it. The state's first black female Chief Justice, Peggy Quince, came to celebrate with the Rattlers at the final convocation to be held in Jake Gaither Gymnasium. Justice Quince, along with President James Ammons, were there to share words of wisdom. Class of 1956 graduate China Evans says she was disappointed with the lack of student participation.
I was surprised at the number of students that were here. Where are they? Do they have class during convocation? Do they? Well, then it ought to be mandatory that they come.
The hundreds of students who were not at convocation were found campaigning around campus for the upcoming student elections. Junior theater major student Jasmine Robinson went to convocation but left early.
Would have stayed a little bit longer, but I couldn't. And out of all the convocations I've been to, it was a little dry. It wasn't as interesting. Maybe I would have stayed a little bit longer.
Students offered few excuses for their absence at this historic event. Now, Sandra, they got to get it together. We can't miss Black History Convocation. And it only comes once a month, once a year.
The last one in the gym.
Yeah, but they got the new gym coming up on Monday. So excited about that. But anyways, there's another big event coming up. It's the night actors and actresses look forward to. Ahead, the glitz and glamour of the Oscars. And later, a newspaper backtracks after a controversial cartoon.
Then a stamp of approval will tell you what Americans think of President Barack Obama. Stay with us.